Hey everybody, it's Chris with Writer's Game, and I thought I would play a little bit of ESO. I haven't really played that in a couple of years, ESO being Elder Scrolls Online, but I do watch a couple different streamers who play ESO or who play New World or who play Final Fantasy XIV, and all of these games have something appealing to me at least, and I thought it would be nice to kind of round out the MMOs represented in the Writer's Game repertoire, as MMOs are my personal favorite video game style, and if you've not played before, then it may give you a chance to look at it and check out how it works and if it's the kind of game for you. We're also going to talk a little bit about the differences in play style, a little bit more similar to New World, although ESO was created many years before New World. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm still in character creation, the character creation screen, as I'm making my new character here. I've chosen the Alliance of the Ebonheart Pact because the symbol's a dragon, and if you can be a dragon, always be a dragon. And I've chose the Imperial race, I guess, or it does say racial skills. So essentially because they get better gold drops. They also get shield proficiency, base health, and stamina as a bonus, and cost reduction of abilities, making them a resolute fighter. So basically, they're really good at resource management and survival, and ultimately, most games you're gonna win, in quotes, win with resource management and having money available, because you can buy just about anything as long as it's tradable. So long term, that's the best way to go. I don't know how long I'm going to play the game, but I always have the option to come back. So I'm going to be giving my character the name that I'm using, and we're going to randomize the look a few more times. I do tend to find that ultra realistic games, I don't know, I'm a little more critical of which character look I tend to go with. I'm not particularly fond of facial hair myself. You know, if anybody's into that, that's all you. But all right, let's see if I can make this actually work. Nope, not that part. I don't want default, I just want to go back. Well, that's the same. Where are the settings to change what you look like? Oh, create. No, I don't want to do that yet. We're going to go back. There we go. In body type, you want to be somewhat heroic and fit, adventuresome. I like being tall, so everybody notices you a little bit better when you know you're doing raids and such. The rest of this doesn't really matter. He's fine though he is. Let's go for that. I would think if you're out on the world being a vagabond of some sort, you're probably just going to have very simple hair, and make him younger just cuz. That's right, we're going like, I don't know, mustache twirly. Now I have this image in the bottom left corner largely to cover up chat, because apparently that's recommended. Let's pirate. I do like the pirate eye. That's like a pirate patch. That's just an eye patch. You know, shows you've got some history. Some things have happened. Let's go with that. I don't really want markings, but I like that one. A little bit of history. Almost got caught in the face with a weapon, maybe. Forehead slope. Lock that, let's lock that, let's lock that. Let's lock that. massive cheekbones, or I don't even see really a difference. Cheekbone height. High cheekbones, low cheekbones. They say you have finer features with higher cheekbones. I'm not really sure that's a thing. Like for real. Jaw size. Massive. Like there's some difference there, but not by tons. Chin size. We'll go small. Do you want to have a broad neck? I think muscular a little bit. That's good. Eye color. Let's go with blue. Why not? Eye angle. Not sure I can see much of a difference with the difference. The slider. Eye separation. This does absolutely matter. People just look a little bit different if their eyes are too close together or too far apart. It gives them a vastly different set. No pun intended. So I like to kind of go in the mid-range usually. Also in the mid-range, eye squint. How suspicious are you of everyone all the time? Let's go with that normal. The various eyebrows. I want to look surprised. Just look surprised all the time, rather than angry all the time. I will go with that. There we go. The eyebrows say so much. Nose shape. This is the one I was looking for. Okay. It might be just me, because, you know, my particular nose. But I do prefer a slightly perched nose. Nose width. You know what? Too narrow. I mean, everybody has different characteristics. None are good or bad. I'm just looking to have a well-dimensioned face. Although it does look like the eyes are a tiny bit high right now. Nose length. Probably wouldn't even notice that unless you turn it sideways. There we go. I'm going to go back to the eyes for just a second. Make them giant saucers. No? That's not working. Eye height. Okay. And mouth height. A little more chin than upper lip, I would say. Let's put him in a smile and full lippedness. Somewhere in there. Ears. Mondo ears. Why not? Just make them huge. Ear rotation. Do they? Oh, how much they flap out. Well, everybody's got to have something, right? Ear height. I think that's kind of normal. Top of your ears is the line of your eye, like right through here. But, you know, I'm sure some people have a little bit higher than that. An ear tip flare. Can I make myself Elvin? No. Alright, well, that seems to be good enough. Got a name. Well, let's go back and make sure we have the right class. I do not want a Nightblade. I'm looking for Templar. This is kind of my default class. I do like the ability to heal, tank, you know, stay alive in the worst of it, and so I think that's good. Templar's awesome. Body type we have, race we have, face we have. Let's do it. I'm gonna skip the intro because I've already played it, and it really is just an intro on the basics of the game. So by all means, if you are interested, take a walk through it. The land called Somerset is the birthplace of civilization and magic as we know it in Tamriel. On its idyllic something. Now, but not every time you go up a level, maybe it is every time, or just about, you do get some sort of what they call a reward, but it's kind of character advancement. So in this case, 1 attribute point, 1 skill point, and then I can apply it over here once I claim it. and my next level is these, and apparently somebody has baked me some food, so let's do that. Now I have 2 points, and I'm just going to go straight health. Eventually, of course, you need to bump up your magic or your stamina or both, but in the beginning I like to just make sure I have a little bit of a grace period in battle where I can screw up a bit and not die completely. Alright, character skills, you want to choose some, and I'm going to choose them all. I'm going to go for a puncturing strike, and let's put that in number 3. I'm going to go with Sunfire Wrath. I don't know that I need this. I was poking around a little bit earlier, and I'm just going to be recreating that for the most part. There we go. And then world skills, soul magic. I like to put that in 5. It's not something I'm going to use all the time. And I don't really have an ultimate yet, but perhaps there's an ultimate. Radial sweep versus Nova versus Rite of Passage. Channel the grace of gods, healing your nearby allies. So I like to be a bit tanky, doing what DPS I can, and then have enough heals to keep myself alive, or spot heal, so that I'm not a main healer, but you know, it's more of a paladin build in many other games. Now what I'd also like to do is go werewolf, but apparently you can't. I'm guessing here because by my experience, I'm poking around a little bit, I can't seem to apply that to my character when I start my character, and I'm pretty sure I've built several characters in the past that are either a vampire or werewolf because I purchased that ability to do so. Now I'm going to go Beacon of Light, Immovable Undying Foe, that's really what I'm looking for, which is a tank class as my current build, and eventually I'll do a healer build as well. If I play that long, it's really hard to know what's the future's gonna bring. My main game is Final Fantasy XIV and the Final Fantasy series, but as mentioned, I figured let's round it out and give this a try. So we have those. I received a notification. Invitation to guides and contacts are moved to notifications windows if you cannot answer them right away. Okay, so if somebody sends me a message, or the system is trying to tell me something, it'll go to notifications, which is N. I do have to learn the commands of all of this. Alright, so this guy exclaimed, I think when we first came in, exclaimed, we'll let the Catmen fight them, whatever them was. So let's see what that is. Alright, so to summarize this, I don't like to talk when the NPCs are talking. It just kind of throws my brain off. And they do have a lot of voice acting in this game, which is really, really great. But in this case, 2 major things have happened. The Queen has issued a decree that allows this island nation to now more freely accept tourists and visitors, and possibly even people to live there, because the Queen has decreed that. And this guy doesn't seem to be appreciative of that, because it's now a tourist attraction. My character would definitely be one of those tourists, because I don't know anything about the world, and I'm also not an elf. But now there's monsters, and he's never seen anything like these monsters. They must be sea creatures. Let the cat fight them. So he's going to run away after I say, monsters, cat, slow down. Tell me what happened. Spewing water and strange creatures, which attacked. One of the newcomers, Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Akhajiit. That's a race of cat people, and then called himself Razumdar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined. I shall go talk to him. Before I go talk to him, I'm going to do this and open up my inventory. This, of course, prompts me as a new character how to use inventory. I can go ahead and exit that. What I'm looking for is this, to put my armor on. Double click will prompt you to accept that. And then I'm also going to double click, open my strongbox, and collect all of this. And there's a reason for that. Oh, I want to take them all. And that is simply, I am currently equipped with a 2-handed sword. But if I equip this staff, which is what I'm going to do, or this bow, you can see increases experience gained from kills by 5%. I can't mouse over it because it goes away, but if you take a look at the bow description box, that's a bonus on XP. Before I go fight anything, I want to definitely make sure I have my XP gear equipped. So we're going to bind that to myself. I don't need the bow if I'm using the staff. The staff is actually really, really versatile. It may not do as much damage. It actually does the same damage. But as you can see in just a moment, it's going to be pretty cool. I like the way it looks. I also want to put the greaves on for extra armor. And I don't need this right away, so I'm going to save that. These are what I had on before. Just save those and sell them later, I suppose. Now, I claimed my daily earlier when I was poking around, which was a mistake because otherwise I would have... I deleted that character to make this one, so we could go through all the process together, including the first quest. But it does mean that I am down a few supplies that I would have had otherwise. No big deal. So you're probably going to start the game with a little more than this. I don't know yet where people pop in. It's only that big. Let's see if I can shrink this down a little bit and still maintain some sense of... There we go. Now in this game you can attack with a left click. There's the reticle, and I've said this before, but reticle gaming is definitely different than tab targeting. You don't need to use tab targeting. You just simply line up your reticle and do your best to hit them. So placement matters, and you can dodge, again, to dodge other people's attack because placement matters. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner, little, not quite in the corner, but that green bar is my stamina, and every time I dodge it will take a hit. These are the creatures. So, an eye for such things. Are you a newcomer? Well, I'm not an elf, so probably. So anyway, cloak and dagger work sounds ominous. Now, have you seen these things? They look kind of weird. They look like crab people, I guess. Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Somerset at the behest of Queen Irene? Irene, yes. To make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. So how can I help? So poke around and see how people are taking it. Alright, so he's here on behest of the Queen because she wants to make sure everything's going well based on her decree. There's some rumors that are saying otherwise. So here he is. And now there's the fight, so now here I am. You can look through more information as you need to. And then finish off the quest. I'm not going to go through lore here. I'm going to try to stick to the play of the game. Holding down shift will allow you to run. You can run as long as your stamina allows you to. And if you hit M, you will see places for quests on your map and little prompts of what to do, as well as key things. And on your HUD, you see east is moving there, the E. You can also find prompts on there for your quest. There should be one for this lady here, but I'm in the circle. That's a sign of you need to talk to him for your quest. Okay, so I don't... Yeah, she's being all haughty, and that's great. But ultimately, I heard you made complaints against Shimmerine. I'd like to hear about that. So she had an apprentice who was here for more than a year, and then essentially was taken away for questioning. And, there's these new rules that seem to be not very reasonable, especially as her apprentice had lived here more than a year. She might be considered an outsider, but not. It's not like she just got here. So, and then that's what she explains here. That they took her away, scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. Did the monks offer any explanation as to where she was or when she'd return? They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady, but who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? So she's not willing to stand up for her great assistant because it's a wood elf. Racist crap is what that is. I've said too much. I've work to do, and all this aggravation is diverted from my path to Alexan. I'll let you get back to your work. Okay, so another thing. Character. C, hit C for character. You can choose some doohickeys up here. I have to find the right one. Collections. Maybe it's collections? Yes, mount. And then I can choose one and set it as active. Now, if you don't have a mount, you can't do that, obviously. But now that I've done that, if I hit H, I mount up, and I can get to places a little bit faster, or run, again, by holding down Shift. H again to get off the mount. I'm going to get myself a little bit of XP here. So this is heavy attacks with the staff. I don't know why words are not coming to me, but and then a couple light attacks at the end. You need to get experience with your weapons or things you're doing, your skills, in order to skill up in them, to get better at them. The ones you leave to neglect will not get as proficient, and that's important. So I'm going to take all of those. These symbols here regenerate these runes every once in a while, so you can go ahead and collect that and use them to craft into other things. I don't know what they are. I don't remember. It's been a while. He's retreating back because I ran too far, so I won't be able to do any real damage to them. Great. Iron Greatsword of Shock. Now this is going to do more damage than my current weapon, but I have to get into melee, and you'll notice it doesn't have the experience gain bonus. I'm going to stick with the experience gains most of the time, like unless the stats are so much greater that a couple of percentage of XP is not going to be a big difference. I'm absolutely going to stick to XP bonus. So I'm putting my reticle over this little creature here, and it's not glowing red, which means it's not an aggro creature. It's not going to get all persnickety with me. But if I put it over like a wolf, see that how it glows red? That typically means yes, it is going to get persnickety. Now I really do like that. This is a staff. This is, yeah, okay, staffs you can use to smack people and swipe people and poke people if you know bow staff fighting and that sort of thing. But typically as a caster staff, it's more of a channel than it is, you know, a physical item. But I do find it an interesting and lovely serendipity, I guess, for lack of a better, maybe a better phrase, that if you hit the spear ability, it basically turns your staff into a spear, and it looks like you're going suddenly all melee on them, and I think that's kind of hilarious. I don't know, I just do. Now, I don't know if I have to attune myself to this thing, or if it's already... Yeah, okay, so way shrines are fast and inexpensive way to travel. Allows you to travel to various way shrines that you've been to. So going and talking to that is going to be important. And my quest is going to take me up here to talk to 2 more people, and then lead me further down the path of this particular quest line. Now, one of the things I really like about this game, there's a lot that I really like about this game. It's not my current main game, but I still do enjoy quite a bit about it. Is they have a, in my experience compared to other games, fairly robust legal system. And you're going to see in a minute when we go check out the sheep, if you do something that would be bad, like murder somebody's sheep, you don't own the sheep, it's somebody's livelihood, and somebody witnesses you, then you're going to have a bounty on your head. And I don't know at what point fellow players can collect that bounty, but it allows you to be a criminal or an anti-hero where you do bad things for potentially good reasons, if you want to be, and that's pretty awesome. Like here, the sheep here, right? If you kill livestock owned by a citizen and the crime is witnessed, you'll receive a bounty, and then eventually you have to pay off your own bounty. So you're taking a hit financially to do convenient things, or what you think might be funny things, or other people will come potentially hunt you down. And I think that's brilliant. Like my original character, ooh, okay, this is the lock picking. That was a horribly cheap lock. I'm remembering here how to do this. So when it starts to wiggle, it's usually ready, and if you keep going, you're gonna probably not do anything good and potentially break your lockpick. They can only take so. Oh, skill line gain, ledger domain, by simply picking a chest. Who are you, sir? Oh, Dominion Guard. And Bright Moon's Lunar Moth. Oh, let's just, yeah, collect that for some reason. I'm sure it's useful. Alright, we're gonna act like nobility here and just drive our horse right in the city. It's not actually the city proper, but it will be in a minute. Because back in the day, in most places, like, they don't want you driving horses because you'll just trample people down. But hey, we get to do that. We're heroes. Saves you a wee bit of time if you're running off your horse's stamina rather than your own. You're not who I need to talk to. It's the person with the doohickey above their head. A newcomer in the warehouse district? Unusual. But how can I help you today, my friend? I was wondering how your name ended up on the Divine Prosecution's observation log. The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justicar sent you to try and trick me into confessing, no. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it, I made my thoughts known. And what were those thoughts, if you don't mind me asking? I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing. You're not a high elf. Have you lived in Somerset very long? Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations, before the Queen's decree. Outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Do you like living in Somerset? Somerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better. Goodbye. Okay, so those are 3 people. None of them particularly hostile or like difficult or treasonous or that sort of thing. At some point, I think your mount does get faster. Could be wrong. Maybe it's one of those things you have to do a lot to experience a lot. Now here's a thing. If you see these glowing blue items, Fang of the Sea Vipers, for example, this is lore. So if you read it through, and again, I'm not going to read it through now, you will eventually get some XP for collecting a number of those, I think, and some achievements. I'm not really sure what the mass advantage is, but I do remember going, crap, I missed some of those that I saw and just decided not to spend a couple seconds, clicking on them. But now that I know they give a benefit, I would like to have done something a little, I regret my decision to leave them alone is what it comes down to. So I highly recommend that you give it a go. Pick them up if you are coming across any blue books. I don't think you're supposed to come in this way. It's not expected. So there's chatter here. These guys are protesting the changes, and this guy in the top is saying, hey, we closed the monastery for your best interest. Every guest must be sequestered and ascertain their suitability, essentially to be in public. And some people like what they're doing, locking them up, and other people's don't. So anyway, this is the beginning quest and takes a good arc throughout this series of the world, so we'll be going through that. Never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiments aren't universal, but enough feel this way for Roz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? The artist's assistant and the Red Guard's cousin have both been sequestered. Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes? Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Old Newell's assistants live on Somerset since long before the Queen has issued her decree. What about the lizard? Did Saxolza have to say? Saxola was dead by the time I reached him. I found this letter in his pack. Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the Kin Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, not in a good way. Of course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery. Alright, I'll help you investigate. So basically I get to go on alone and check out the monastery. So it is a fun little thing, because if you get seen in the monastery, they're going to shout the alarm, and I guess you get to fight guards. I don't remember what happens. I try not to get caught, but it definitely is a possibility. I think I've had them catch me once in the like 6 times that I've done this, 2 years ago or whatever it was. Now I have to wonder who that is. Is that supposed to be me in the future? Is it another NPC, like my character, or is it another NPC? Obviously it can't be the hero, because the hero can also be female, and that character has what I would say is more of a male voice, but you know, I suppose there's always a possibility. Okay, so I'm here to investigate, and like usual, there's little pips, little things above information or things to investigate here. This talks about the Kin Lady's letter and her concerns. If the monks find me here, they're going to raise the alarm. I don't know who that guy is. Probably a PC. So he has a desire to take a nap. And the new monks that have arrived are running the whole rounding people up thing. And he asks about the new monks. He's like, they're a little bit strange. They kind of stick together and do their own thing. And do you have any idea where they're sequestering? They're taken into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Anything else I should know? The monastery is a place of peace and meditation, and it's been closed down to further notice. This means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me, I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits. So there's the definite thing of, hey, you need to be careful, because the other monks will raise the alarm. So if I see a person here, I don't necessarily know if it's a PC or an NPC, so I usually get a little jumpy. You know, it's not a big deal if you get caught, I'm sure. So this is a list of who they've taken, some questions, and you know, the person writing down that maybe they shouldn't be questioning this, but they wrote it down, which is silly. So this is the basement. This is not the way in, but it is the most reasonable way to get to the upstairs, which is the last piece that you need to find. You can see it through the wall there. There's a chance the guards will find you here. You examine that. This lady shows up. Strange thingy to have in here. Yes, yes. I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. And what purpose would that be? The quests are newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well. A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. I saw a pearl like that. There were strange creatures nearby. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curio strange creatures notwithstanding. We need to find out what happened with the missing newcomers. How did you happen to get past the sentry, by the way? The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our own methods. Curious, but I feel there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. What else could be going on here? That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldark and a disgruntled king lady, both opposing the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me? I'll meet you in the Undercroft. Yes, I will. Oh, there's a guard. When I first came in here, I was playing a rogue character, and I was sneaking every inch of it. It's really not necessary. You do have to be, mindful and wary unless you want to fight the NPCs. But really, you can just kind of run around with a little bit of awareness. And like that guard there. Still got pretty close, and he didn't raise the alarm. Ooh. Somehow she beat me down here. Thank the divines. You aren't one of the monks. Please let me out of here. Why did they lock you in a cage? It's a nightmare. We came to Somerset to look for new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship and they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us with the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. There are only a few of you left. Where's the rest of the newcomers? The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through a door on the far side of the chamber. Please let me out of here before they take me away like the others. I'll unlock the cage, then see what's going on in the next chamber. Is that a scoffin? That's apparently something that we need to be aware of. Okay, this is a person with horns, I think. Unless there's some sort of head tentacles. A Daedra here. And that's a scoffin. If I remember my Daedric resuscitations correctly. Very curious. What's a dead scoffin doing in a monastery devoted to the Eight? An excellent question, and now I hope to find the answers too. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. That's where the prisoner said the monks took the rest of the newcomers. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what exactly is happening down there and who's behind all of this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. What about your missing friend? She'll explain everything later. Bust a move. Okay, these are all people. And that's a bad guy. But I can't do anything to him. Yeah, I got one of them on me. Like, literally. You little freak. You can block or dodge. Or just take the hit like I am. Oh, I was mid-dodge when it decided to crunch my arm. Not liking that. But I've always been a fan of the idea that mobs cheat. They have to. Otherwise, it's very difficult to make it difficult for players. Anyway, so one thing I wanted to mention is there's definitely a different gameplay with reticle MMOs. Well, MMORPGs. Because obviously you need to aim, but it's a bit more fast-paced, a bit more aware. Like, you have to be facing in the right direction, or it just doesn't work. In many cases, certain abilities and whatnot. I'm a member of a Sijic order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Somerset. My inquiries led me here. A Sijic order is an ancient magical monastic society. We serve as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel. But that was before we moved our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. Why are you involved in all of this? I'm working for Razumdar, one of the Queen's eyes. But what happened to the pearl? An eye of the Queen. Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum. Yep, got it right. The Sijic island for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this once we get out of here. Alright, let's go. Alright, so there's just a couple of bad guys we need to take out. No big deal. I don't know which way we go. Oh, looks like... Oh, that was the wrong button. This is mainly... I jumped in here because the other guy's here. I figured let's help him out. That's a heal. Gives me the option to use it, get some XP. Centipede. I don't know why I want Centipede, but hey, let's... Now, loot is, I think, person-specific. Maybe it's not in this game. I don't really remember. But we'll head this way. Double tapping is a dodge, but it's also a way to escape certain things like that are holding you in place. It may not always work, but it's an option. That's not going to do any damage because I ran too far. I guess if you need a quick burst of light, you can just... Oh yeah, I forgot. You can search like urns, which kind of seems disrespectful to me, but I guess not all urns are for people's ashes. Do 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 do. I think he defeated... there's a player who's coming in here a little bit before me. So even though it's sort of an instance, it's not an instance. I don't know what I need seaweed for. I'm definitely going to be selling most of this. So she's been out of the world a while. The city's growing because it's a port city. I think there might be a chest or something kind of hidden back here. A shrine? A trunk. Okay, if it's witnessed, right? So there's nobody around. So I'm going to give this a go. Discerning pilferer. So I stole something without being caught. I think I can use the item, but I can't sell the item. unless I sell it to a fence. I don't know where there's a fence in this town, but there's probably one. Can I sit at their seat? Will it cause them some ire? Who are you and why are you sitting at my table? Everybody's talking about the Queen's decree. Alright, let's be rude and ride the horse. Now there are 2 colleges, I think they're called in here, that are kind of important for getting your certain quests. I think it's quest based. Are you familiar with the guild? Yes, I am, but that's okay. You should consider joining up. We have a new guild master and a singular purpose. Why don't we talk for a moment? Sure, let's talk about the Fighters Guild. We'll be drawing blades together soon enough. Now what can I tell you? Sure, singular purpose. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damn anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains plagues of Daedra boil out of it to lay waste to the countryside. Yes, it's a very large event that happens in the area. So, I'm ready to join. Skill line Fighters Guild. That's what you want it for, is a skill line. Complete quest. I think I can go in and do stuff if I really want to, but I don't. I'm gonna run by here, and there's also a Mages Guild. I don't remember where though. I don't think it's here. Super duper. Magister. Welcome. Are you here on the Mages Guild business? The Mages Guild? Yes, of course. We're lore keepers across the face of Tamriel. Guild members seek out books, tomes, and ancient scrolls in their travels. Why don't you speak with me for a moment? Perhaps you'd like to join. Let's talk about the Mages Guild. Always good to speak with another knowledge seeker. Guildmaster Vanis will be pleased. What can you tell me about Mages Guild? We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture in the libraries, and take copies for distribution across Tamriel. The guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the acquisition of new tomes. What do I get in return? We provide training and unique spells and abilities only available to members, and from time to time projects crop up for those with the adventuresome spirit. We end up working with the guildmaster himself. I'm ready to join the Mages Guild. The Mages Guild line, which is great. And they just give you money. They just give you money. So there's XP, and I think that's Mages Guild XP, so that's what's gonna level up your ability to do Mage Guild thing. Okay, I don't know where this guy is. Where did he go? Where did he go? No. Okay, he's back here. Maybe he's outside the monastery and I just totally missed him. Talk to Razumdar. Or he's at the tavern. He's got to be across the water. Below. Huh? Oh, well, he's way over there anyway. I'm fine. It's fine. He is at the tavern. Anchors away in. but not away like casting away. I don't think you need an excuse to get drunk, buddy. It's a cooking file. You can select cook or brew. Food, drinks. I think that's the cook and that's the brew, but it's not labeled as such, so interesting. Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. The people that were sequestered were killed to power Daedric ritual. I found this letter. It isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. I do like Raz, he's good. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. You want me to go and accuse the Kinslady of conspiring with the Daedric cult? Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Aldark. The Kinlady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. Because he just sized me up and got some clothes made, right? That's just what happened there. I also met a mage from the Sijic order in the monastery. A Sijic? Raz has heard rumors. But there are always rumors about the Sijics. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijic mage see what the order was investigating? Something about a warning, and she seemed pretty interested in the life-sucking pearl. There's a life-sucking pearl? You should probably have led with that, a bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijic mage and figure out where these pearls come from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Shouldn't you speak to the Kin Lady? You do work for the Queen, after all. Kin Lady, Evizi, and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse and a splatter of pudding tarts, and no, this one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would. Goodbye. Well, sir, I look forward to that, but it is going to have to wait. It is now dinner time, and my belly rumbles. A short introduction to ESO, the initial quest line. I'm gonna stream it when I play it, and just a bit of a shout out. I've always enjoyed the game. What I didn't like about it was I can't quest well with friends. If I start a quest and I get like 2 more kills ahead of them, it doesn't reflect well. It doesn't help my friend when they start the quest. We can't see each other's progress. It's very difficult to help each other. There's not a lot of synergy. If you start at the exact same time, you're going to be good. You get the same quest at the same time, it works fairly well. If you don't, if you play when your friend's not playing, that sort of thing, and you go ahead and do your quests, it's going to cause some challenges. Now, maybe it's not enough to be a dissuasion, or to dissuade people from playing, but I was really getting my friends into this and seeing how well they, how we liked it, and that was absolutely a challenge because some people had more time to play than others. But beyond that, this is a really good game. I really enjoy ESO, and Ariel Summer is a streamer. You can look her up on Twitch, and I don't have a system to auto do links, but it's twitch.tv/Ariel Summer, and it's Airy Summer, sorry, not Ariel. I don't know why I was calling her Ariel. Airy Summer, and she plays ESO just about every day. I watch her stream because I think that she's a pretty good player. I can learn a lot from her, and she's showing me how interesting the game not just is but also becomes because she plays more of the end game content. As mentioned, Final Fantasy XIV is my current main MMO, but sometimes you need to take a break, just play something else for a little while, something you're not worried about how well you're going to do with the grind, and I think this will be a good option for that, and eventually hopefully do some raids and some groups. But if you guys are interested in playing, by all means, give it a go. If you invite your friends, just try to do some certain quests together, maybe the main quests together, so that you can experience some content together. But that's really up to you. And I'm going to leave it there for now. Have yourself a great night, and we'll see you in a couple of hours, hopefully, when I play what I hope to be the last leg of Final Fantasy. I'm playing through all of the Final Fantasies, the main story ones anyway, and this should be, I hope, the completion of Final Fantasy 1. If not this week, then next, and then we'll move on to Final Fantasy 2. I'll see you guys all there. Have yourself a wonderful night, and I hope you get into some good gaming soon.